All right. So Adeline's here. I'm here. We're figuring out this new format. This is a little different than how we normally do it. So thanks everybody for jumping on. This is our inbound call training for the Integrity Connect ILC inbound leads, sponsored by Ringba. So thanks for jumping on this, Adeline. You've been doing really good. I want to have everybody hear your story. I want people to get some useful training out of this to be able to take back and convert more calls and close more business. Um, and so I'm just really excited about this, and I just want to make sure it's actually recording. And it is. All right, it's even recording. Look at that. So so Adeline, for people that don't know you, can you just share a little bit about yourself and how you got started with Family First Life?
Yeah, so my name is Adeline LaMadrid, and I've been in the insurance field for now, I think a little over 4 years. I definitely started off as part-time, on and off, and recently, about almost 2 months ago, I decided to take that leap of faith and quit my 9 to 5. So I went all in into insurance now. So super excited. It has been honestly an amazing journey. Overall, it has been amazing because inbounds has been just, a whole game changer overall. So it's been great.
Nice. What did you do before? What was your other career?
So I was in the dental field. So I was an office manager for a dental office.
Nice. Thank you for your service. At least you didn't like pull people's teeth and stuff. Then we still like you. You just set appointments and stuff. That's
Yes, yes.
better.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So how long has it been now with FFL so far?
With Alpha a little over 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And then so you were definitely doing not inbounds before. And so tell us a little bit about as far as the inbounds go, what do you love about it?
Overall, I want to say just like I'm able to have more of like a time management. So, like a balance with, work and life overall. I think what has definitely changed was when I was doing calling leads, I would spend hours and hours just calling, dialing, sending text messages, where now I'm able to kind of have more flexibility where I'll lock in within a couple of hours and just take calls. I think overall, from the beginning when I first started doing inbounds to now, it has been, very great and amazing because like call flow is definitely a lot better now. So
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been with us since really the start. I think when we were first taking Ringba calls like on cell phones, and then we moved it into the ILC. And so there's definitely been some technical challenges, but you stuck through it the whole time. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. But yeah, the call flow. I mean, how long do you typically have to wait between calls now?
Honestly, sometimes not even 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And we
there.
have several hundred people a day take calls.
Yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
so yeah, we could actually, dude, people don't realize what we could scale it to, and it's alarming actually. I try not to even tell people because I don't think they would believe me, first of all. But okay, so I'm going to look this up actually. I'm just going to tell you this right now because I started, and so now I have to go with it. But let me just look at the dashboard real quick. So the way it works is when you make yourself available, the publishers or media buyers that are generating these calls are pinging our system. They're basically saying, who's available in California? Who's available in Texas? Who's available? And our system is pinging back, going, Adeline is, or Wale is, or like that's what's happening. Now, if they ping us and everybody's on a call or a call comes in from a state that we don't have somebody available in, um, I can't give you the exact number, but I know what Friday's number was, so I'll just tell you Friday's number. So
Okay.
they ping us with these, and then we either accept it or we say no, we can't take it, and it goes somewhere else. Right? This is in the process of the call being routed within tenths of a second. On Friday, guess how many times we got pinged to take calls that we basically said no one was available?
Mm, a lot.
189,000.
Wow.
I mean, so we're like, we have hundreds of people on. People's like, it's too late. No, it's not. Like we can really scale this up, like really scale it up. And so yeah, that's exciting. All right. So I kind of made a list of questions. I'm going to go through some of it. Um, what's been some of your biggest obstacles and things that you have to overcome in order to get good at this, Adeline?
Honestly, Trey, I think in the beginning when I started inbounds, it was kind of like a love and hate relationship. It did take some time for me to kind of, structure overall my mindset with it because, I remember the first week of March is when I started doing inbounds. And I feel like I had gotten like a little over 20 billable calls, but like one sale. So, I definitely was a little overwhelmed about it. And, I had stopped. I actually stopped, went back to my goat leads and continued doing that. But then we had that lock-in Chicago. You were here and everybody was doing inbound. So, I felt like I had to take that initiative too and do inbounds. What definitely really inspired me as well too was I had a brand new agent, Fabian, that, it was his first day dialing that day. And he got on the phone like nothing, took the risk, read a script, and he got his first sale as well.
Yeah,
So huge shout out to him.
I've you know I've done a lot of lock-ins, and that was the first lock-in we did that I've ever been at where everybody made a sale, which was crazy, and everybody was taking inbound calls. And Fabian, everybody was so busy, and I just kind of watched because I was like, I wonder if Fabian's going to ask for help on this. Like, I don't. It seems like I didn't know it was his first one, and and dude, he sold it. And he just got off the phone. He was like, yeah, like $67 a month or whatever it was. And everybody goes, you sold that? He's like, yeah, yeah, look at the thing, you know? We're like,
Yeah,
wow, that was amazing.
yeah.
Um, yeah, good job, Fabian. I hope he's watching this. Um, so and goat leads. Look, if you're gonna dial, you should dial goat leads. We're fans. I love goat leads. So if y'all do want to outbound dial, use those ones. That's it. Um, so what is uh how do you handle people that think it's free? A lot of people, first of all, we talk a lot about revenue per call or RPC number. Your RPC is like 18 bucks. Like it's great. Um, that means that's a good number. If the number gets below like 9, Ringba and Integrity will kick you off. So
Mm.
yours is twice as good as what it needs to be, meaning you're taking like 40% of the calls. 4 out of 10 you take no matter what. Um, a lot of people get caught up on the fact that people call in and they think it's a free benefit or they want their free $40,000. Was that an issue for you? And then how did you get good at overcoming that?
Yeah, it definitely was an issue, and that's why I feel in the beginning I gave up on it right away, just because I was starting to blame like the leads, right? Where I was like, they all think it's free, but I honestly stopped myself and I was like, no, this is something that I have to work on within myself and kind of changed my mind shift, have a mind shift on it, where what helped was I wasn't really focused anymore on the 90 seconds, the $55. Because in the beginning I was, where now I'm more of like, okay, let me actually help them. Let me, I know a lot of them, they say it's free, but I let them know, no, unfortunately, it is not free. But, my job is to help you find the most affordable, monthly payment. I worked with a lot of fixed income clients, so I'm able to help you out. So I just kind of give them that reassurance, like, it's not free, but I'm here to help you. Like, let me help you. And I think that has definitely been made like a huge shift where I'm not worried about 90 seconds anymore. I'm more of like, let me help them. And that has definitely been a big change.
Well, amen. And a lot of people are on the same boat when they're getting all these calls, people think it's free or whatever. And they're like, how do I overcome it? And the story is always similar. It's like, hey, I stopped thinking about the time limit. I started focusing on the people. And one thing that somebody did say, there's been two things that have helped me think about it differently, was one agent said, hey, like, I need to be on the phone all day with people, not looking for ways to get off the phone. And then
Yes.
he goes, and one thing I know none of them have been confused about is this is about final expenses to cover their, for their loved ones when they pass away, you know?
Yes.
And they're all clear about that. They just think they don't have to pay, but they know they got to pay for it. They just dipping their toe in the water and see what's about, you know?
What they can get away with, right?
Exactly. So good for you. You're doing good. Now, okay, so let's go through that. Do you mind going through your phone script with me so people can hear? And yeah, I'll answer that, Charlize. Yeah, in our boot camp, Charlize, there's actually a video of what people see in the video ad, and it doesn't say free anywhere. Now you gotta think about this. For somebody to fill out a Facebook lead, like put their data, their information in it, and push submit, there's a certain type of urgency for that. But think about the type of urgency that you would have to get someone to call right now. Like that's the difference. It's the urgency to get them to call right now. So when you see these videos, it looks like people won the lotto. But the message is my family, my mom loved me enough to take care of this. She didn't want me to be burdened. And it looks like they won some publisher clearinghouse stuff, but it doesn't say free anywhere. And then it goes to a text ad that basically says affordable life insurance. And they click through that and they click the number to call. So people are not confused that this is to cover final expenses. And in order to get the phone to ring, there has to be an urgency there. There just has to be. So um, I'll put in the Integrity Connect Telegram group. I'll put another link to the ad so you guys can see sample ads for when people might say that. But here's another thing I want people to realize is the less calls you take, the more calls you'll get of people thinking it's free. The more calls you take, the less calls you'll get of people thinking it's free. Because if the media buyer on the other end of the call or the other end of the traffic, the person running the advertising, if the call costs you 50 bucks, right, for a billable call, and you're taking 1 out of 5, that means that publisher's getting paid $10 per call because they got to pay for them to generate them, whether you take it or not. So that means in order for them to make money, they have to generate a call for like $6 to $8. So in order to generate a call for $6 to $8, it's not going to be as high quality of a call than one that they would generate for $15 or $20. But if you take half the calls, then you'll get all the calls that they generate for $15 or $20, which are much more uh, intentional, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense. I kind of want her to respond now in the chat. Is that kind of a good explanation? And I will put that. And thank you very much, Health First. Fine. Thank you, Kyle, for putting that in there. Okay, so let's go through your script, Adeline. So
Right.
I'm calling you. So hello.
Okay. Hello, this is Adeline with Life Insurance Department on a monitor recorded line. Are you calling about the affordable final expense coverage today?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, this is not free, but my job is to help you find the most affordable monthly payment. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, how old are you?
I am 78.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
It is 3/14/1952
Okay. Now, are we purchasing insurance for yourself or for a loved one?
for myself,
Okay, perfect. And what state are you calling me from?
California.
Okay, great. And who do I have the pleasure to speak with?
My name is Trey.
Okay, perfect, Trey. And then, sorry, really quick, I do want to add on there that after I asked them what state they're calling from, and I've already had clients, I actually had one today that wasn't with the state that I have license. I didn't hesitate. I just kept going and to continue helping them. But I know that now I'm going to purchase that license because they did move forward with it. So I know I do see it a lot on the chat where they get discouraged because they don't have that state. But definitely just continue, and if you get the sale, just get that non-residence license as well.
Yeah, and there's only a couple states where it's more elaborate than you just having to fill out, something on NIPR. Like Florida, you do have to get third-party fingerprints, so you can't sell one in Florida and get licensed the same day. And maybe there's one or two other states like that, but the vast majority of them, yeah, if it's in the morning, you can sell that puppy, get licensed, it'll have the same date, everything will be okay. So good job. All right, now I'm going to give you more objections this time. So let's do it again.
Okay, perfect. Hello, this is Adeline with Life Insurance Department on a monitor record line. Are you calling about the affordable final expense coverage today?
Affordable? I'm calling about the free 40,000.
Yeah, we could definitely get you qualified up to $40,000 of coverage. But just so you know, it is not free, but there is a affordable monthly payment. Is that okay?
Well, why the ad say it was free then?
I'm not sure, but I can definitely help you out to see if we can get you an affordable monthly payment. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. How old are you?
that's good. I'm 78. Hey, but you know what though? Like one of the things I've learned, because I'll listen to a lot of calls and people handle it different ways, right? Um, the thing I've learned though is it's more about tonality than what you're actually saying.
Mm.
Like, like it is. It's more about tonality than what you're actually saying. Because you basically just asked me the same question three times. Whereas I hear other people ask the same question three times and it's offensive. When you just did it, it wasn't offensive. So if y'all want to listen to how I do it right, like play that part over again because um that was really good. Okay, let's try one more time. All right. What's some other objections you get early on?
Early
Is it
on,
life insurance?
no,
You get
they'll
that?
one of the main ones I do get a lot is like, well, what's the price? What's the cost? You know?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Another way to really mess this up, y'all, because this is what people do. And we have a lot of people coming onto the platform that are new. And the new people always do the same thing because they get caught up on this 90 seconds. So, like, hey, we got 90 seconds. So, what they'll do is they try to do a presentation and get a price and a commitment in 90 seconds. And when y'all are outbound calling, there's nobody on here who's ever made a sale over the phone that was giving a price in 90 seconds. Like, you're trying to avoid giving the price in 90 seconds. If I bought a lead and it was a $40 vet lead, and 60% of them don't answer anyway. So, however much that turns out to be after all of that, if I finally get Mary on the phone or Bob, and Bob goes, "Yeah, how much is it?" I'm going to avoid it. I'm not going to answer how much it is. You got to do the same thing with this. All right, so let's do that. So, ring ring.
Okay. Hello, this is Adeline with Life Insurance Department on a monitor recorded line. Are you calling about the affordable final expense coverage today?
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out how much it is.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Just so we're on the same page, it's not free, but my job is to help you find the most affordable monthly payment, okay? Now, how old are you?
Well, I'm 75, but how much is it?
Yeah, so just like everything, it's a process. I do need to go over some questions here to be able to determine what would be your eligibility, okay? Now, are we purchasing insurance for yourself or for a loved one?
Yeah, for myself.
Okay, beautiful. And what state are you calling me from?
I'm from California. What do you think the price is in California?
I'm not sure. Everything kind of depends on your age and your health, but I'll definitely be able to help you find that most affordable monthly payment, okay? Now, who
Okay,
do I have
perfect.
the pleasure to speak with?
Well, my name is Trey, but I'm 6'5". I'm 71, and I can still slam dunk a basketball. And you know, I don't take any medication at all, and I've never had a heart attack. And I walk 4 miles a day. So how much do you think it is for me?
Wow, Trey, that's freaking amazing. I love it. It sounds like, you're definitely always very busy. No, that's no problem at all. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. I am going to need your height and weight. But like I mentioned, there is going to be a couple of more questions I do need to ask as well. So just bear with me here. And then could go back to the script.
Yes. And you know what though? That's awesome. And you kept going back to the script. That's really good. The other thing when I listen to these calls that tends to get people back on track is when people get the feeling that like that's just part of your job. Like you're on a recorded line and you have to go through the stuff you have to go through. And you do a good job of that. Like I get that. Like I have to ask you the stuff. So um hopefully that was helpful. That was really good. Good job, Adeline.
Thank you.
Any other objections that you get early
Um,
on?
so one that I think definitely helped me is the social. So I don't really get any more objections on social. I think what helped me and what I did was in the beginning, I did implement and made sure that they knew that there was going to be like no medical exam, no blood work, no one's coming to your house to do any type of test. I just need to determine these health questions here. And then right before I'm going to ask for the actual social, I reiterate again that, and I say, like I mentioned in the beginning, there's going to be no medical exam. No one's coming to your house to do any blood work or any sort of that. Transamerica is going to check your medications and your doctor visits with your social. What's your social?
So I almost gave it to you. That was really almost gave it to you right there. Um, no, that's good. That's really good. Um, yeah, and so there's two phases. There's the objections you get at the beginning, and then you're basically dragging people past the 90 seconds because you're not worried about getting billed $55. Which, by the way, the people are trying to make sure their final expenses are covered. That is why they're calling. So as you drag them in and you start talking about their beneficiary and you start talking about what the money's going to do and why it's important to them, and you're getting chips on the table, and then you're talking about the fact that not everybody can qualify, you get the health stuff, and they go through this process. Now, before you present the price, what are some other like kind of trial closes that you're doing before you give people a cost? Um,
That I was actually going to go to that right now as well too. One thing as well too. So overall, like you mentioned, was my tone, right? Making sure that I kind of stayed consistent with the tone. And another thing as well too was I want them to know that I'm not just trying to sell them something. I want them to know that, I'm here to help them find honestly something that is affordable for them. So before I do go over the options, I do say, so now I'm going to go over the options here with you, but just keep in mind that if one of these options I recommend is either too much or too little, I am able to request different amounts. I just want to make sure overall that this is something that's within your budget. So I think that has helped me because, a lot of times before they would be like, well, no, that's too expensive. No, but this has helped me so they know like, okay, I'm still here to help out and, work something out with you. So that has helped me as well.
Great. Some people are just putting questions in the chat, so I want to ask some of these. Um, what if they need to discuss it with their partner first? How do you handle I want to think about it? And then Mary Craft had a great question. I'm just going to go to the funeral home. Okay, so I used to do a ton, like all I ever sold in the field was final expense, direct mail final expense. And our final expense lead, they thought they were getting a free Walmart gift card. That's why they sent it in. So I was coming out to give them their free Walmart gift card, which I did not have. And I would get in the house and I would sell the insurance. Well, when people would do the funeral home thing, this is the way I set this up in case y'all ever run into this. So I would say, listen, there's three options today that you can do. The first thing is you can go down to the funeral home and get what's called pre-need. And that's basically where the funeral home is going to sell you a package deal for $10,000. You're going to make monthly payments on it. And the funeral home is going to take your money and go buy an insurance policy on you so that when you pass away, they're going to get a $10,000 package for you and your funeral, but they got a $30,000 life insurance policy on you and they're going to keep the extra 20. That's how funeral homes make money. They're assigned as the beneficiary on a pre-need policy. The second option is you could just get a whole life policy to go to your family. So you pay the same amount of money, spend the $10,000 at the funeral home because you get the money tax free, but then your family gets the other 20,000. Or the third thing is you could just do nothing. So out of those, which one makes the most sense? And then they always say the second one, right? So that's how I handle that. Okay. What about I want to think about it? Because people do get that a lot. And I see a lot of people here's the other problem. I'm going to say this. When we did in-home, if people told us we had to think about it, like it didn't end well. Like we'd make them mad, they'd make us mad, we'd leave, they'd either get it or they didn't, but they weren't ever talking to nobody else about life insurance again, like because it was a one-shot deal. But the thing with these inbounds is 20% of the time, if you follow up with the people, they'll actually buy. And that's a blessing and a curse because people aren't pushing hard enough on the front end. Because you could close probably 10% of those, 50% of those 20 that you could follow up with. So I think what happens is sometimes people are following up and they're getting like a $250 deal because they followed up and Mary actually answered, and they think that's going to happen. And you'll go broke if you think that way. You can't do it that way. You actually have to push them to buy it. So how do you handle the I want to think about it, Adeline?
So overall, what I say is like, okay, no, I completely understand. You have to have some time to think about it, or you have to talk about it with your husband. But let me just let you know that these prices here is nothing set stone. So we don't even know if you're approved just yet. But what I could do here for you is, it's going to take a couple of minutes. I can go ahead and just set this request in, get you that approval. That way you at least have some set numbers and you're able to discuss this with your husband that actually just happened the other day. And yeah, it worked. She got approved and she's like, okay, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
yeah.
Perfect. That's a great comeback. Another great comeback that I just heard recently. The agent goes, once you think about it, which one do you think you'll go with? And the person said something, and they go, well, we don't even know if you can qualify. Let's see if you can qualify for that one first. And then he just kept moving. But I thought that was a great question. Once you think about it, which one do you think you'll go with?
Yeah, that is a good one.
All right. Let's see some other questions they put in here. Um, uh, I'm gonna go back to my questions. All right. Some of the trial closes. How do you ask for the sale? How do you present the numbers and ask for the sale? So let's say you're showing me 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000, and you're going to go with America, you're going to go with Transamerica, which we love Transamerica. The FE Express is great, by the way, just so you guys know. Because it's pretty hard to get declined. It's really hard to get declined. All right.
Yeah, so no, I totally agree with you on Transamerica. That's definitely my to go to as well too. All right, Trey, so you have with that pen and paper, go ahead and write down Transamerica.
Okay.
So this is the company that, I'm getting good rates here with. And write down for me 10,000, 20,000, and 30,000. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we get an approval here with Transamerica for a $10,000 coverage, you're looking at paying only 59 a month. Okay.
Okay.
If we do a $20,000 coverage, you're looking at paying $80 a month. And then with the $30,000, you're looking at paying only $100 a month. Okay. Now, if
Okay.
Transamerica were to approve you, Trey, out of these three options here, which one would you prefer to be covered and leave for your wife?
Well, I like the 81
The
dollar
80,
one. Yeah.
$80. Okay, perfect. No problem. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just ask you a couple of more questions here, Trey. Sent this a request. Beautiful thing about Transamerica is I'll be able to get that approval today. All right, Trey, do you have a middle initial?
Yes. It's W.
Okay, perfect. And if we get an approval here, what is that mailing address you want us to send your policy to?
And then I give it to you. Good job. So, what about banking info? Do you do anything special for that? I think people get caught up on the banking info too. There's been some questions about that.
How I started off is I'll say, okay, are you gonna be using a checkings or savings? And
Checking.
then they'll let me know. I'm like, okay, perfect. Which bank? We do work with many banks. I can go ahead and help you with that routing number. Meanwhile, if you can get that account number for me, please.
Yeah. Okay. Bank of America, and I'm in California.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have that routing number. I'll go ahead and share, make sure it's accurate. Share the routing number. Okay, perfect. What's the account number now? And then I also do say now most of my clients want their policy to start right away. Do you want your policy to start right away as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Now, do you get a lot of draft dates or no?
Here and there, yes, I do, because especially if, they're fixed income and they have their check that comes in, on the third, on the fifth. I do definitely respect that. And I say, no problem. I can definitely do something on my end here to help you out with that.
Right. So, one of the issues that I think happens, there's a lot of draft dates on these, and I think a lot of people have actually just put it into their like presentation, and you shouldn't do it that way. Like, it shouldn't be like, "Hey, what day would you like it to come out?" Like, don't do that. Just be like, "All right, once it gets approved, they're going to take the first payment, and then after that, you can pick what day you want it to come out at, later on or whatever." And if you just don't make it part of the closing, whatever you said was good. But I think a lot of people they try to make it part of the closing, which isn't
Mhm.
good. Because what happens is, especially on these inbounds, so there's some real advantages to inbound calls. One is people don't call behind you, but there's a disadvantage because they could call the number again. Okay, so
Yes.
you want to lock it down. And here's what happens. Like if you put it on the 15th of next month, they'll start thinking about it and they'll go, how much is that again? Da-da-da. And then they'll go back to their phone and they'll call the number. And then they'll
Mm.
get somebody like Dominique Rogers that'll go, wait a second. Why did they put it out that far? Why didn't you just start it today? And they'll write over you. They don't know if it's an American, they don't know if it's an FFL agent or not. So you want to make sure. And how do you shore up the cell afterwards to make sure if they have any issues, they're calling you, it stays on the books. You have really good persistency. So what's some of the secrets for that?
I mean, overall, throughout the conversation, I definitely make them feel that they're not just a client, they're like family now, right? So, because I will be their insurance agent for the rest of their life. So, I want them to feel comfortable and know, like, hey, you need anything, like I'm here for you. Please save my name, my number. Please share my information with your beneficiary. Any problems, I'm going to be the one you're going to call. You're not going to call an 800 number, call the insurance. You're going to call me directly, and I will be the one who's going to assist you and help you out. And I let them know, I'm going to, so when we have like when I have these clients that need draft dates, maybe like the 5th or whatever, I do let them know I'm going to go ahead and call you, the day before, make sure that, remind you that this is going to start the next day. And overall, like just know that, I'm part of the family now because God forbid something happens, like I'm going to be there to go to person and help them out with any situation. Another thing
Awesome.
too that I add, I let them know. So, I'm going to send you a thank you card. I really appreciate, I'm really happy I was able to serve you today. I'm going to send you a thank you card, with a little gift card. What's your favorite store? What's your favorite, kind of coffee that you like? So that has also them as well to help out.
I love it. Heather Robeson makes all her clients her Facebook friends,
Oh, I like that.
which, you know, she don't make herself hard to find at all. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, some of y'all got stuff on your Facebook you shouldn't have. That's why you don't want your clients to see you posting all kinds of political stuff and everything. Like Heather does it. Heather does it the right way, which
Um, Another thing I wanted to add too is I do have like a little personal text with like it's like a business card, but it has like my
yeah.
whole picture of me, my license number for whatever state, and my direct number. So right away we're getting that connection and they're able to see, who they're talking to as well. So that helps build rapport as well.
All right. Anything I left out that you think's important? Skip through a bunch of stuff.
Everyone needs to get on inbounds ASAP. It's been
Yeah.
a life changer for me, to be honest with you. A couple weeks ago, I actually had I think 18 billable calls, and I had wrote a little over 12,000 AP that week. So it's
Nice.
been honestly a life changer. I love inbounds. I can't wait for the Spanish ones. I know you had
Well,
to,
they're coming. So
yeah.
the next phase for the ILC and Integrity Connect is we're going to get a soft phone ported in so that people actually take the calls over the computer. And that'll do away. I mean, half the people that are probably watching this are having issues with their cell phone or T-Mobile, or half the calls don't show up. Like that's a cell phone issue. The carriers are going through great lengths to make sure people don't get spam calls. And so when you get 100 calls in a day from random numbers, like they're trying to protect you. They don't they don't see what's happening there, right? Like they don't know you're taking inbound calls. So so the soft phone's going to help a lot. And once we get that soft phone in, we will be rolling out several other products. The first one is going to be a short duration call that's pre-qualified. So they're either going to go through a really strict AI process where they think they're talking to a person, or they're actually going to talk to a person that's going to transfer you the call. But the call is still consumer initiated. They're clicking directly from the ad, but there's just a person in the middle to make sure they know it's not free and, you know, ask them a few health questions to make sure they have a bank account. The other product that they're going to have right away is Spanish. So they'll have Spanish inbounds. That's probably going to be a 90-second duration. I haven't really heard on the duration yet. And then the third one is TV inbound call. And the calls are just coming from TV ads. And if you were to turn on your television, if anybody still has television, like cable, I think the only reason why people have cable now is so they can have the internet. But if you're 70 years old, you still have cable, apparently. And so if you turn on like television in the middle of the day, you'll see these commercials. They're like 90 seconds long, and it'll say, plans start at $2 a day, plans start at $3 a day. Like they definitely know it's a cost, and it's pretty. Those are pretty powerful. And there's been some groups that have tested those that love those calls. So that'll be the next one that we put on um, Integrity Connect and the ILC. So good job, Adeline. And you're recruiting. Were you really recruiting before? Not really so much, huh?
No, I mean, honestly, everything kind of started once I left my 9 to 5, where like just, God's plan is amazing. Things just started aligning. I currently have 5 licensed agents and one that's currently in her taking her exam. So it's wild, but I'm super, super excited and really grateful for you as well. Trey, I really appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you guys too. And I mean, you guys got the system. I mean, look, here's the thing. We could get 100 people taking inbound calls in that office that we did our lock-in in. I don't know if we'll let us use that every time, but we could get 100 people in there. We could get you an office right there in Chicago where people just take inbounds. People like Art Forrest and Hanan, these guys, their whole team is nothing but inbounds, and they're killing it. And there's plenty of room. And so I'm just really excited to see you be able to do this and actually start recruiting and have the confidence that it's awesome. I mean, when your cousin made a sale, I mean, that's the best thing about the business. It really is. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on this. We are going to try to do these at least every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern, and probably every Friday at 5 Eastern. Maybe not, maybe Thursdays. I was doing them every day. If we're going to just do one impromptu, I'm going to put it out on Instagram. I'm going to put it in all the chats. I'll put it on the Integrity Connect inbound Telegram in case we do one last minute. But I'll make sure you guys have several hours worth of notice. I appreciate you guys jumping on this, and we will put these on YouTube. Yes, John. And I'm going to redo the boot camp link, and I'm going to put all these videos inside there. So that it's helpful. And there's a few tools, just so you guys know, especially people that are doing Integrity Connect inbounds. Callvault.net. So callvault.net has examples of good calls, examples of bad calls. It has the entire script word for word that you can listen to, and objections word for word that you can listen to in an album. And it'll play, like I set it up so that when you were like at the gym, you could listen to calls. But the calls are like 2 minutes. That'll be at the gym a long time. But if I was there, that 4 minutes, I'm gonna listen to some calls. And so I am gonna put some phone calls on there. I just got to remove the personal identifying information. But yeah, callvault.net, and I'm gonna add some more to that. So you guys can start with what's there. It's a great resource, and I'm gonna make sure I add new calls every week. And we're going to do more of these. And thank you very much, Adeline. This was awesome. I'll let you guys get back to work. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.